Japan is beautiful, and we already know this. But after just a few weeks being here, I'm left speechless. And I'm not talking about the temples, the food, the amazing people. I'm talking about something deeper, something that goes way beyond all of that. And if you really want to understand this place, and I don't mean just come and visit, but really understand it, you might want to watch this. Let's go. That was cool. That's Japan right now. Every major spot, flooded with people. There's a sea of tourists just holding up their phones everywhere. It's crazy. Imagine walking home and then having a group of random tourists just record you like if you were an NPC, a non-player character. For locals, that's exactly what's happening. Their everyday is turning into a spectacle. But no one talks about the consequences about Japan's tourism boom. I'm talking about $200 taxi rides from the airport, long lines that you can't even get dinner, chaos everywhere. The thing is, when a place gets this hyped up, things change. Prices go up, locals get pushed out, things start to feel more artificial. Have you ever waited for 1 hour to have ramen?
Let's hope it doesn't take that long.
Let's hope this hour-long wait is worth it.
We're actually full.
No.
And it may be more than an hour.
More than an hour? Do you do all the pottery? Namba is the famous street, right? Yes? Yeah. How are you doing today? Good? Yokatta. Everyone says Japan is super cheap right now. And it is. Come on, you can go to the supermarket and get a water for less than $1. But it's not without the consequences. Everything good comes with a price. It is happening because of the weak yen. It is happening because of tourism incentives. It is happening because the exchange rates are super cheap for foreigners. And obviously it sounds amazing to us foreigners. But the reality is, how long can this last?
You're gonna go to Kyoto, right? Locals there are at that limit of if you ask them this question, they'll tell you before you even finish to get the question out of your mouth, yes! Tourists are ruining everything. There's a huge labor shortage in Japan. There aren't enough workers. So when that happens, if you have a restaurant, you can't hire a waiter or waitress. So you're limited to see how much economic upside that you're getting from tourism.
Okay, we're at a public toilet right now, but look, you have to understand this. They have a built-in audio machine. So when you use the restroom, nobody else can hear you. Japan is gonna go extinct. Well, in about 400 years or so. You see, Japan has the second lowest birth rate. And here's what's funny. In Japan, everybody calls each other by their last names. For example, my last name is Santos. Instead of being Isabella, everybody would call me Santos. And here's where it gets interesting. The most common last name in Japan is Sato. Well, a professor made a study that in 500 years, everyone's gonna be named Sato. Everybody will have the same last name because the birth rates are so low. Their immigration laws are so tight that immigrants can't come to Japan. All right, guys, so I made a huge mistake. I ended up bringing my coffee. There are no trash cans. So let's see how long it takes me to throw my cup away throughout the day. That's gonna be a toughie. Why are there no trash cans over in Japan?
You really want to know why? There was a terrorist attack back in the 90s in the Tokyo subway, sarin gas or whatever. And he and his crew basically hid this poison gas in garbage cans that used to exist. And so because of that, they got rid of them. But then it actually turned out, that was kind of an accidental experiment of the society. Turned out that when you don't have trash cans, it actually maintains or actually gets cleaner because people kind of carry their trash around. It's what keeps Japan in you know, in check and clean and crime-free, except for assassinations. But otherwise, yeah.
So I love traveling with Bitcoin. You know, I'm a Bitcoiner. And the thing in Japan is not every place accepts Bitcoin, which is weird. When you look back into the history of Japan, Japan used to be the Bitcoin capital in the world. Japan is such a cash-based society because their currency, the yen, didn't lose its power.
So finally, after 40 years, Japan had inflation. We've been suffering from deflation, right, for 30, 40 years. So once inflation kicked in, I thought people will realize that you know, our money, Japanese yen, is not a good store value. But no, it didn't appear to them that way. Bitcoin is something very, very foreign to Japanese people. I don't know why, but they conduct like market research. Every country's consumer sentiment about Bitcoin improved, but Japan was the only country the consumer sentiment actually got worse.
The thing is, everyone in Japan wears masks, and it's not because of the reason that you think. It's because of allergies. Everybody here is super respectful from everybody, that when they have a little stuffy nose or a little cough, they just wear their masks out of respect to not get anybody sick. They respect everyone's peace and everyone's space. They have this mentality to not disturb whatsoever. For example, in restaurants, if you don't say, hey, excuse me, I'm ready to order, they will never come and take your order. You could go hours just unbothered if you don't call for their help. One of the coolest things that I realized about Japan is that they don't really have a religion. You know, it's not like Spain where you go and it's everybody's Catholic. They are actually the least religious country in the world. Back in the 1940s, they viewed a human as a god. Their god was the emperor of Japan at a time. So that's very interesting. And all of a sudden the US got involved and was telling the emperor like, yo, you need to tell your people that you're not a god. So ungod yourself. The thing is, I came to Japan expecting one thing, and I found something completely different.